Hello people, I'm the Real Comic Book Gamer. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little differently. First off, before I get into that, I want to address the quality and everything, because the mic stand on my camera that I normally use broke because when I packed it in my suitcase, because I just moved from Florida to Seattle, for those of you who don't know. So, mic stand broke. I'm going to work on duct taping all that and trying to get that fixed. But until then, I'm going to be using my webcam like I am now, and I know the lighting's not too great, the camera quality's not too great, but yeah, hopefully you guys can put up with it. Anyways, today, I'm going to be going all over Twitter and looking at MCU fanboys and DCEU fanboys and seeing how sickening they are, because most of them are pretty toxic. There'll probably be some good people too that just say some good stuff. We'll see though. I think it's gonna be fun. My bet is, from my personal experience, DCEU fanboys are generally a little bit worse, because MCU fanboys are a lot more steadfast in their beliefs, to where DCU fanboys aren't as secure in their beliefs, so they have to attack anyone that has a different opinion from them. I can say Age of Ultron sucks, won't really get any response. I say anything negative about the DCEU and I'll have someone, just 90% of the time, someone that doesn't even follow me will respond and tell me how I'm wrong in every single way and how Zack Snyder is a god. That's been my experience so far, but we'll see today. I'm just gonna be searching up keywords on Twitter like Zack Snyder, DCEU, MCU, stuff like that. So yeah, let's start off by searching up Zack Snyder. And also, I'm going to be cutting out the person's name and AVI, because I don't want this to be a witch hunt. This is just me going out seeing what there is, trying to make something interesting. This is not for you to be look at this person's stupid opinion, you should go hunt them down for it. No, that's not it. First one that comes up is actually retweeted by someone I follow. It says, "Video made by me. I just love the story of Superman in this universe. Zack Snyder's Superman is more interesting than any other incarnation." How though? How? Deep breaths. Okay, so this person says that Zack Snyder Superman is more interesting than any other incarnation. I'm assuming the only other incarnation they're familiar with, or maybe the Christopher Reeve Superman, maybe the Superman the animated series Superman, maybe the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited Superman, because I don't think this person's ever really read a good Superman comic. I don't think they have. I don't think they've read anything from John Byrne's run, or Jeff Johns' run, or Peter J. Tomasi on Rebirth. I don't think they've read anything like that. I don't think they've really read anything from Dan Jurgens. I don't think they're familiar with Superman at all in the comics. I think they maybe watched a few cartoons and some of the live-action Superman movies and hey, Superman Returns wasn't very good. Oh my gosh, Zack Snyder's a god. Look what he did with Superman. That's what I'm thinking. I personally love Man of Steel. It's my favorite comic book movie of all time. I think it's great, but it was it's up here. It's amazing that Batman Superman just takes off a cliff and destroys the character that I loved in Man of Steel. They completely destroyed it and made him an idiot, and it was... I've gone on many rants about that, about how that movie just destroyed what I loved about the character prior. It was so stupid. Superman's so irrational in that movie, and then you have so many people trying to defend it and be like, but look at it, and it's no. That movie does not understand Superman at all. It's so stupid. But again, you can have your own opinion, but that being said, you should be I can make fun of that opinion if I want to. So there you go. You can have your own opinion. I don't really care, but I can make fun of that opinion, because if you believe in it enough, it shouldn't matter what people say about your opinion, right? Anyways, yeah, I don't think this person is very familiar with the character of Superman at all. I think they've seen a few cartoons and a few movies, and that's it. And then they're like, Zack Snyder Superman's so amazing, because this is far from the best version of Superman. Very, very far from it. Not even close. But that's just my opinion. Moving on. From MCU, this person said, okay, but honestly, why does the MCU have more stands than the XMCU? The X-Men are so much better. That's an interesting point. In the comics, I like the X-Men better than the X-Men characters better than the MCU characters in the comics. But in the movies, it's hard to say, because we've had some great X-Men movies like First Class and Deadpool, and then Logan's pretty good. But I feel it's hard to say. I feel like I do like the MCU a little bit better than the X-Men MCU, but we'll see how that could change once we get Deadpool 2 and X-Force and stuff like that. Because the X-Men have been learning a lot lately, it seems, and keep getting better, and yeah, it's hard to say. Damn, best female superhero in the MCU, and it's a gif of Quake from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. How though? Have you watched Daredevil season 2? Elektra all the way. I'm sorry, Elektra's the best female superhero on screen right now. Maybe Wonder Woman will change that when we get the Wonder Woman movie, considering I've been hearing good things, but we'll see. But right now, Elektra is my favorite on-screen super. I know she's not part of the MCU, but I'm saying just on-screen in general. Right now, Elektra's my favorite. She's great. Sadly, she hasn't been on the big screen yet, but she is technically in the MCU, so I count her in that. So yeah, I'm gonna go with just Elektra's my favorite right now. I haven't watched any Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. since like the first season, because I hated it. It was so garbage. Like I watched like an episode or two of the first season. I was like, this is terrible. Heard it's got better since then. I just don't care to like get into that. Like there's nothing that interests me about it. Might watch Inhumans, we'll see, because they got the guy from Hell on Wheels and I like him. Like he's pretty good, so I'm excited to see him as Black Bolt, so I might watch that, but we'll see. We got both of these within the span of like 10 minutes. I love the DCU. You got a poster that's really crappy, and you got like a good look at Mara, because I'll say this, James Wan, like he nailed it. Like Mara looks great just like she does in the comics. I love it. He nailed that. But like the Wonder Woman posters, just that looks garbage. It looks like they tried to Photoshop it too much or something. Like she looks like she's wearing some like fake bronzer or something. She just looks weird. Something looks off about it. Cause some of the Wonder Woman posters have looked good, but that one looks terrible to me. I'm sorry, it just looks awful to me. The Mara picture looks great. I think like they just nailed it. I'm really excited for that though. We'll see. I think they just nailed it. She looks just like she does in the comics. And this person says, just a reminder, if you trash critics over previous DCE reviews, you look like a moron for peddling the Wonder Woman reviews around. Agreed. 100% agreed right there. Pretty much nailed it for all the people that are like, critics are idiots, their opinions don't matter, they're like just a bunch of idiots and morons, and who cares? And then Wonder Woman, everyone's like, look, this movie's gonna be amazing because the critics said so. I agree with them there. Like that person kind of nailed it, like spot on, hit the nail on the head there. Why do DCU directors' movies look different? Because they're not formulaic, because they have creative control, because the DCU is not the MCU. Agreed there on the fact that the MCU, I've said this before in Nerd Talk multiple times, the fact that pretty much all the MCU movies besides like Iron Man 1 and like the Russo brothers movies look like they all could have been directed by the same person. Like you could have told me that and I would have believed you if I didn't know anything about it. Like you could have told me that the same person directed every single MCU movie. I'd be like, yeah, that seems legit. I agree with you there. Besides so basically, and the Incredible Hulk, so pretty much like 4 movies. Besides those 4 movies, every single MCU movie looks the same. So right now, the 3 DCU movies we have so far have been fairly, I mean, obviously 2 of them are the same because they're from the same director, so you'd expect that, but Suicide Squad was much different. Not in a good way, but it was different, so I'll give you that. So far, DCU has had variety, it just hasn't been good, besides Man of Steel. Man of Steel is the only one that's been good so far. Hopefully Wonder Woman's good though, we'll see. Hope critics won't relegate Wonder Woman as good just because it's funny like MCU films. It's inspiring, something that MCU films can't do. Has this person even seen the movie? Because they're acting like they have. And also, I would say that like Captain America has been pretty inspiring in the MCU. Like the MCU, a lot of their movies lack depth and are just like funny joke time. Look at this new quip. But I would say Captain America for the most part has been pretty inspiring, and I really like seeing his like character development in the MCU. At least that's my opinion on it. I think that person's a little wrong there. Like I think that Captain America, like you can say whatever you want about the rest of them, but to me like Cap has been pretty inspiring throughout. Also Iron Man 1 was a little inspiring, seeing like the turn of Tony Stark to like actually becoming a decent human being, and then kind of like goes back to not being so decent later. But anyways, that's just, yeah, I feel like the MCU can be inspiring, not all the time, but is somewhat. And of course Man of Steel is very inspiring to me. Hasn't been inspiring at all after that, but yeah, the DCU basically is a lesson that no matter how much the odds are against you or how much hate you get, keep going, prove the haters wrong. I say it's more of a no matter how badly you suck, if you make money you can keep going. That's what I see so far. Batman v Superman is currently at number 48 on all-time best-selling Blu-ray list for the United States. Yeah, like I said, it's sold pretty well. It sold good enough to where it can suck really bad, get bad reviews, but it can keep on going because it made decent sales. This is an interesting thread. Someone said, why does she get to watch it with a screenshot of this person that gets to go see Wonder Woman early? And then someone replied to her saying, what's wrong? That person replied back saying she's a DCEU hater, had a lot to say about Batman v Superman and its fans, compared it to garbage. Then someone very level-headed replied to him saying she can pick and choose what she likes. I love DC, but the DCU has sucked for me, but I want Wonder Woman to be awesome. I'm a Marvel DC fanboy. I agree with that person. Again, like, someone criticizes your movie and you're like, that's it, never allowed to see one of these movies again because you criticized it. That's what this person's like trying to say. Like, she's a DCU hater. She didn't like the last movie. How dare she be allowed to see Wonder Woman? It's like, what? Why? Like, what? That makes no sense. Why does someone who doesn't like something not allowed to see, like, the next in that universe? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't mean they won't eventually like one of the movies if they make a movie that person likes. It's like, it's just retarded. I agree with this other person though. It says she can pick and choose what she likes, and I agree with him. And the fact that I love Man of Steel, but Batman Superman Suicide Squad sucked for me. But I'm hoping Wonder Woman is great. And then oh wow, this person responded to the level-headed person. Oh my gosh, this goes back and forth. Yes, the typical I'm a DC fanboy, but the DCEU sucks. So your idea of being a DC fanboy is to never critique. I love Marvel, but there are Marvel movies I hate. Does that make me a Marvel hater? Whatever, man. To each his own. Critiquing is one thing, dragging something through the mud is another. Oh my gosh, I love people like this. It's so great because I get it all the time. Whenever I critique something, it's just like, you can't like anything. You hate everything. But then when I like something, it's like they can't say anything about it. Like, the people are just so confused. Like, I thought he hated everything. What? And then the next time I say I don't like something, they're straight back on it talking about how I'm just a big hater about everything. It's great. And it's just one of these people, like, critiquing is one thing, but dragging something through the mud is another. So just be nice, you know? You can't say anything bad about anything, otherwise you're a hater. That's exactly how it goes. Love it. Love this logic. Oh, and this person, oh my gosh, I love that. Like, this thread is great. The person said, if I watch a movie that I hate, I'll drag it through the mud, and when I watch a movie like Dark Knight that I love, I will praise it forever. Nailed it. Completely agree. Like I said, because I made like a bunch of videos on Batman v Superman talking about how garbage it was, people are like, stop it, you're beating this topic to death, stop talking about Batman v Superman. But when I made tons of videos talking about how much I love Man of Steel, I even made like an hour-long podcast that was just me praising Man of Steel. No one complained about it. No one was like, stop, you're talking too much about how much you love Man of Steel. But when I was talking about how much I dislike Batman v Superman, so many people are like, you need to stop now. You're dragging it through the mud. It's great, the double standard there. I feel like I've picked more DCEU tweets right now, but that's just because there are more good DCEU tweets to pick. Like, all the MCU ones are like, new, like, Tom Hardy announces Venom, which is cool, but like, it's all stuff like that. It's all like news stuff. It's not like fanboys freaking out about something. Where DCU, it's all like, Snyder's a god. You need to shut up about this. Wonder Woman's gonna be amazing because the critics like it. It's like, okay, but yeah, MCU, there's not as much. There's not as much stuff like that. Dang it. Oh no, I think I might have found something good. Wait, I found a thread. Oh, this is one like equals one character I love. This person loves Zemo in the MCU. How? Zemo's like, most of the villains in the MCU are complete garbage and suck terribly, but Zemo is really bad. Like, I hated that when Civil War came out, because I love Civil War. I think it's a really good movie, but the villain is god-awful, and I hated seeing people like, he took out the Avengers without throwing a single punch. It's like, not really. Like, you could have had him in there, and, I mean, you could have taken him out of the movie, and pretty much everything still would have happened the same. Like, he didn't really do anything, and he was just a terribly written villain, and he's just another, like, add him to the pile of crap MCU villains, because that's what he was. Like, that's what I thought was funny, whenever people would be like, Lex Luthor was such a better villain than Zemo, because, you know, those were the two big Superman movies that came out that year, Batman v Superman and Civil War. And I'd just be like, nah, they're equally as bad, they're both garbage. The only difference was Zemo didn't make me cringe when he was on screen like Lex Luthor did, but Zemo was equally as, like, terrible. Like, he was just a bad villain, and he didn't really do anything. I don't care about him at all. Like, and he could have been great, because he's a great villain in the comics. He's one of the best Captain America villains, but sadly they ruined him. I didn't care for him at all. But that's my opinion on Zemo. Test, retweet for Zack Snyder, like for Joss Whedon. I'm gonna have to go with Snyder on this one, to be honest. Like, I like Man of Steel, I like Watchmen, I like 300. I like more Zack Snyder movies than Joss Whedon movies. Like, I liked Avengers. I didn't care for Age of Ultron, or like, really, I haven't really watched much of anything else he's done. So I'd have to say I'm more of a Snyder fan. than a Whedon fan. Because, like, I liked Avengers, and that was kind of it as far as Whedon goes. I'm not, like, a Firefly fan or anything like that. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Snyder on that one. Okay, I think I'm going to end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know if I'll do anything like this again. I just thought this would be something fun to do. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.